Hey friends, I had some free time this morning and Lil Frodo pulled out another interesting batch of emails over on Reddit on the GRB Snark backup. They are a scattered mix of messages to and from a lot of different people from a different time range. So they're just kind of an interesting blend, and I thought it would be fun for us to go over them, friends. As always, my usual disclaimer these emails were obtained through the Freedom of Information Act and the Missouri Sunshine Law. All prisoner communications are subject to Freedom of Information Act requests. There will be a link in the description if y'all want to follow along. And the first one we have is Outbound from Gypsy, talking about one of her prison inmate friends named Lucky. Now, the same woman who got Lucky in the hole is now on my wing next door to me, and she and I have a long history of not getting along. Please pray for me that I make it through these next 4 months without issue from this woman. I'll need the prayers. Then inbound to Gypsy. Hi, Gypsy. Things have been crazy here. I just saw your message today. You definitely have my prayers. Lucky said try to stay away from her. She's bad news. She says she has your back if you need her. If you surround yourself with people who has your back, it helps. When you guys have rec again, Lucky will explain what went down. Thank you for letting me know about Lucky. You've been a fantastic friend to her when she needed one and all the time. What she went through recently was very hard for her, but knowing she had good friends that would stand by her helped. Good friends are hard to come by. Lucky said she'd always be there for you too. That's what friends are for. Feel free to email me if you need to talk. I will try to check my account more frequently. Then on this next one, on the bottom, there's an inbound to Gypsy that she responds to. The inbound says, so this is the famous Gypsy Blanchard. Wow. So do you get paid for movies and TV they make of you? I hope you do. How much longer do you have? I hope you get out soon. Then outbound, Gypsy responds and says, hello, blank. I do not mean any offense, but I am not famous. I am just a normal woman doing her prison time. No, I do not get paid for all the media stuff. Legally, I cannot profit off my crime. The TV show The Act was done without my permission. Interesting, friends. She tells people she can't profit off her crime legally, but behind the scenes, she took $50,000 from one of the producers of the act, and we all know she got paid for a bunch of crap. And so did Rod and Christie. So this one is a strange one, outbound from Gypsy. Somebody wrote to her, and she replied to them, and it says, yeah, I'd love to get to know you. Smile. Okay, well, I am not sure if you know my story and why I'm in prison, but my story is kind of well known. I have about 3.5 years left to do. I've been locked up for 5 years already. I'm 29 years old, long, wavy brown hair, brown eyes, 5'0", 115 pounds. I am single. I do not have any children. That is a short description of me, lol. My interests consist of many things. I am kind of a geek. I love movies. I like art. I do draw and paint. My musical interests are vast. I have a very eclectic taste in music. Country, rock, and alternative are what make up the majority of my taste. There's so much hilarity in their friends, first off, giving her description and blah, blah, blah. But my musical interests are vast. I have eclectic taste. And then she names three genres that, while being very fine genres that I enjoy too, country, rock, and alternative, they're not eclectic. They're three genres that are all very derivative from each other. What do you all think, friends? And we have another outbound from Gypsy. Well, our ceremony is July 18th. This is not our big wedding, obviously. When I get out, we will have a big one with all the family there. This is just to make it official, but it will be the best little prison wedding Chillicothe has ever had. LOL. We do get to write our own vows and take pictures. I will have a gold band and Blank will have silver. Unfortunately, my ring can't have any stones due to the rules, so he is looking into buying me a ring with some kind of design without stones. We'll have a 2-hour visit on the wedding day, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, an 8-hour visit on each day, with the Friday being a food visit. He can bring food in for me and wedding cake. Smile. The state of Missouri does not have conjugal visits, so no wedding night anytime soon. But we are just so content with just being together. And I have asked him, I'm like, are you sure you're okay with being abstinent until I come home? And he always reassures me that he is content with just coming home and having a 4.5-hour conversation with me, just talking about any and everything. And I believe him. We both have a strong enough bond through communication that the lack of physical connection is put aside for reasons of being faithful to each other, and we are just too happy together to even dwell on that too much. Having a relationship while I'm still in prison was not my intention, but from the first letter I ever got, there was just something about Blink that was just this pure of heart, honest, good vibe person. And in the beginning, it wasn't a romantic thing. We just became friends. Like I could be my absolute self to him without judgment, and he has always taken my side. Then there's so many letters, countless phone calls. We started falling for one another. And then he came to visit me, kissed me, got in trouble for kissing me. He got a 6 month suspension from visiting. After 6 months, came back. And here we are now, 8 months from getting married. LOL. All laughs aside, he has been a huge blessing. And yes, he is very stable, nothing like blank at all, thank God. That's so funny, friend. She makes it sound like Ken is her first relationship in prison because she just absolutely was not thinking about relationships in there. All of us who've been following the emails know way different, don't we, friends? And then we got an inbound to Gypsy. Look, you did the best you could to help Blink. He seriously didn't even deserve your help. I am so damn glad you're away from his toxic ass. I could see him being abusive. Blink is a great guy for you, much better and a stable life to offer. So fill me in on the wedding details. I'm so happy for you. I know you are finally on the road to your best life. XOXO, Blink. Then we have an outbound from Gypsy. I'm doing okay. Last week was hard, but I made it through. I can take comfort in knowing I did the right thing by getting on the stand and being brutally honest. I feel that though the verdict was not the outcome I was praying for, I did all I could to help Blink because I just don't feel that life without parole is fitting, but I can deal with the outcome easier than if I hadn't done my testimony at all. See, if Gypsy would have stuck to that sentiment about Nick, I think it would have done her a lot of good after she got out. Even as, she was getting all the backlash for the way she was acting. I don't identify as a murderer and doing her Lifetime show and stuff. If she would have managed to stick to that attitude about Nick, like she wouldn't have been okay and not got any backlash, but I think it would have helped her. There would have been a certain amount less. What do y'all think, friends? Am I right or am I reaching there? I just think that was the right attitude for her to take. And it seems like it was clearly a facade because she said that a few times and then pretty soon went back to wavering back and forth on whether or not she was accusing him of grape. You know what I mean, friends? And then we have two inbounds to Gypsy. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, darling. I hope you got my other emails. Inbound to Gypsy. Hey, stranger. Sorry it's been a while. I have no stamps. That sucked. LOL. Well, I wanted to tell you, I'm so proud of how brave you were at blank sentence. How are you doing? Blank. Then we got a big outbound from Gypsy. Hey, Blank. Well, on New Year's Day, Blank tells me that he spoke with his mom, dad, sister, and Blank, and everyone said the same thing. Why now? What's the rush? They all support our relationship 100%, but want us to weigh the pros and cons of doing it now. And it's kind of messed up, but Blank tells me, Blank said she does not support the idea of us getting married in here and then going home to him, as well as taking it upon herself to speak for my father, saying my father would be so upset with him for taking his daughter away after the fact of him not being able to be in my life before. Then Blank talks to me and says, no, she didn't say she doesn't support our decision, that she and dad accepted it. It's not ideal, nor does she like the fact that I would go home with Blank, but it's my life and my choice to make. So she's addressing it one way with me and another way with him. I emailed my father to ask him for his thoughts on this matter because I don't think it should be only Blank speaking for my side of the family. Blake and I have a visit next weekend, so I'll know for sure if we are or aren't getting married in July. We need to have that one on one time and talk it over just us. Things have been rocky on more than just the topic of the wedding with Blank. And don't get me wrong, I love her. But all the TV show Media Fame is putting a strain on our bond. Myself, Blank, my father, and friends have all spoken on behalf of me, trying to be a voice of reason, trying to get her to respect my wishes and completely end this continued spotlight attention fest asking that she and the Blanchard family move on from the painful past. No more interviews, no more shows or public articles. Well, needless to say, she continues to be the front runner for any camera that offers. It's kind of sad. She is such a good person, but what started as being a support gypsy thing, it's now something entirely different. I truly don't want any more TV shows, interviews, or public attention about me or my past. It makes prison stay hard because women judge me, and it makes it very hard to become something other than Gypsy Blanchard, the formerly abused girl and murdered a mother, approximately 2 documentaries, 6 TV specials, 3 scripted shows, and countless news articles. I'm done. I opened up about my life in the hopes that I could be an advocate for abused children with parents of MBP, but I'm still healing from my scars, and I just want to live and create a new beginning for myself. I have an amazing man in my life who gives me the hope and love I need to keep positive in my situation. My father and I are getting closer, and I have solid friends who stand with me, good or bad. There's one more line, but it's cut off. I've said, and others have said too, in several different places. I seriously think she was way overestimating how much Rod and Christy cared whether or not she lived with them when she got out. I mean, Christy maybe wanted her there because of the cameras, but Rod, I don't think really cared. What do y'all think, friends? Then we have an inbound to Gypsy. Hey girl, I was happy to hear from you. I really am glad you opened up to me and told me what's going on. I'm so sorry about the wedding, and it should be a decision between you two, not everyone else. This is your life. You get to live it how you want. I haven't seen new interviews. I guess I missed them if she's doing them. Have you told her how you feel? That you do not want any more news articles about you? If it's not helping you, then it needs to stop. Right back. Blink. Then we have an outbound from Gypsy. Hey Blake, how's your week going? Blake and I are doing great. We are celebrating our 1 year anniversary on September 15th. Smile. So we are planning to set up a weekend visit. He's really become such a blessing in my life. This is the first real relationship I have ever had. And the best part is it is a normal, healthy relationship. I may be in prison, but at least he has only one personality and he's not a vampire. LOL. Oh my God, friends. Okay, so we've saw the ups and downs, the roller coaster back and forth, and the accusations of him being on drugs and all this stuff. We know that her relationship with Kid is not a normal, healthy relationship. And Gypsy attempted to get him to do role play with her. So what is she doing bragging about him only having one personality and not being a vampire when she tried to get him to do similar stuff? Am I right or am I reaching, friends? Let me know. Then we have another outbound from Gypsy. Aw, thank you. Smile. My classes are going fine. They keep me on my toes, always have homework, always have something going on. LOL. I like helping others because I feel it makes a difference. Even to just one person, my mission will always be to save someone from ending up like me. My story in life is one of a lot of trials and hardship, but this is not the end for me. My story will have a happy ending. Smile. I think she vastly overplays how much homework she had because she rarely ever speaks about it, except for in an email like that to someone not very close to her, just mentions it casually or mentions how it keeps her completely busy. But we know she was actually completely busy conducting multiple relationships, plus doing her goddess work. Inbound to Gypsy. What kind of country do you like? I'm a huge country fan too. I'm sure you will do great in a sport. I'm sure much better than I ever did. Anyway, good talking. I'll be looking forward to your next message. Smile. Outbound from Gypsy. Blank is my fiance's middle name, so he wants Blank to be the name for our boy. I'm not 100% sure on one particular job. All I know is I want to make kids happy. Maybe a Build-A-Bear worker. LOL, I don't know yet. Smile. Oh, good God, friends. Imagine Gypsy as a Build-A-Bear worker. Places that work with kids tend to not hire felons, Gypsy Rose, especially not murderers. Now, this one, Lil Frodo mentioned, is outbound to Jeff. After Jeff dumped Gypsy and called her a scammer and said she was doing stuff like her mom, etc., she continued obsessively emailing him right all the time, right up until she got out, while she was married to Ryan, everything. And he started replying again right before she got out. They're probably in contact now. Okay. Outbound from Gypsy to Jeff. Hello, Blink. How are you? You've been on my mind lately. I do have a lot of guilt and regret about the last we spoke. It was hard for me to see things from a perspective other than my own. And I have come to now understand why you felt you had to remove yourself from my life at that time. I am writing because I owe you an apology. In the time that you were a direct participant in my everyday life, you always encouraged me to do the right thing, even if it was not easy. Your influence on me was positive, and though at times your constructive criticism was hard to take, it made me a better person because of it. I was not very appreciative to what you were trying to do in the final days of our relationship, which I know was only being a positive influence and steer me in the right direction with the situation that I was facing, and I'm sorry for being immature. We left in a bad place, and that was my fault. I completely forgive you for how you reacted to the unwise decisions I was making, as well as my lack of accountability. It was unfortunate that our relationship had to take such a blow to get me to see that not all punishments are given with a write up or a trip to the hole. Some are personal losses, a loss of friendship, and a loss of relationship can be the cost of bad choices. When I think of what I projected to you as my character and morals, I cringe at some things. However, I do not believe everything that I projected to you is a far cry from my actual personality. More often than not, I was myself when talking with you and giving you a well rounded example of who I am, especially my weird quirkiness. I have since learned to stay true to myself, even if I'm not well received by all. Our relationship was a perfect blend of romance and friendship and was met with many new discoveries, both joy and personal. We came to have a connection that was really special. It was a whirlwind of passion for each other with the comfort of a lifelong lasting love that still to this day warms my heart when thinking of you. Not a day passes that I don't miss the relationship we had. I understand if you do not wish to respond or reconnect. If you're in a relationship currently with someone new, I mean no disrespect to your girlfriend when I say this, but I will always love you and you will always be Mr. Smitten, my Mr. Smitten in my heart. I only mean to apologize for creating this rift between us and to let you know that I have adopted refusing to do or say something that could have a negative repercussion on me or anyone else. It has worked when making complicated decisions. I have a clean record of good behavior and am honor dorm worthy. I have moved away from friendships that were formed in this environment, choosing to make new friends outside of the prison lifestyle who are going to be a positive influence on me for when I am home. I try and live my life with the phrase, what would blank think? As I said, I understand if you removed yourself forever, but I felt it in my heart to reach out. I wish you positive vibes and send my love. Oh, there's a lot of crazy in there, friends. It's weird whenever she says, when I think of what I projected to you as my character and morals, I cringe at some things. However, I don't believe everything that I projected to you was a far cry from my actual personality. What the fuck is she talking about, friends? Does anyone know? And she is so proud of that quote unquote weird quirkiness. Good God. It's not weird and quirky to be a murderer who thinks they're an artist because of handprint paintings and blown beauty fart art. Anyway, moving on. Outbound from Gypsy. Blank, you don't look scary, lol, but a few more pictures wouldn't hurt. Smile. Well, sounds like you have an adventure on your hands. Are you nervous at all? Hello. How my name is written correctly is Gypsy Rose, but many either call me Gyps or Gypsy. Gypsy Rose is quite formal, and most romantic interests have called me Gypsy Rose. I guess it sounds more ooh la la, lol. And don't even get me started on the nicknames I've acquired over my life. LOL. Please. So you mentioned you have children. What are their names and ages? My sister Blink was in gymnastics when she was little, and she grew up to become head of the varsity team in high school. I, on the other hand, have never been physically gifted with a talent. My talents are with words and creations. I like to draw and paint, and I enjoy crocheting as it is a new hobby that I have learned. I have never been fishing, camping, or much of anything outdoors. I am sure you are aware of my past circumstances and current, obviously, so I have not been able to experience many things in life. However, I am to be released December of next year, so I'll be able to make up for lost time. Spiel. How did you come to learn of me? Ooh, she says she'll be released December of next year. So this is probably while she was married to Ryan and randomly reaching out to other dudes. Just my guess. What do you all think, friends? That is the end of our batch there. We will go out with a palate cleanser. Thank you all for being patient. Me and my fam have been having fun on our visit, and I will be back with more videos soon. Have a good day, friends.